if only you guys were in the era where, you know, where that Kenny Dalglish, the famous Kenny Dalglish, what do you call it?
Entertainers, is it?
The entertainers and
Kevin
then
Keegan.
Kevin
Kevin
Keegan.
Keegan. Kenny Dalglish was the one that brought us all down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Kenny Dalglish was the one that brought us down. And then after that, Ruud Gullit.
Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan.
Kevin Keegan.
Kevin Keegan. That era of entertainers, but of course manipulated by Sir Alex Ferguson.
Was that the first time he said beat club?
I'll love it when we beat them.
That was the Kevin Keegan one. I love it when we beat them. Yeah.
So let's talk about managers. Since you all have been supporting them, Newcastle for a long time, right? Best managers or top 3 managers, you know, because for me, I like Benitez when he was with Liverpool and he brought you guys up, right? And he was with you guys. What you guys think about that? Eddie Howe, of course, and Ruud Gullit. Was your
for short while.
He benched Shearer. Shearer wanted to leave the club because he was benched.
Oh, really? So all this, we talk about managers first, then after that we talk about legendary players lah.
Sure.
Okay. So what do you guys think of all the legendary managers and all that? How do you rate them?
I think managers, you ask any Newcastle fan out there, it will always be
similar, same lah. Sir Bob.
I think if you don't support him as being the best Newcastle manager there, we probably say you are not a real Newcastle fan. I will say that upfront to anyone out there who supports us post takeover. You read up your history of Newcastle United.
That's important, guys. Read up the history.
Understand who Sir Bob is. That's the most important thing.
Not only to Newcastle. I think he allows people like Pep, Jose Mourinho. He was their mentor. Right? So in a way, he breeds a new generation of managers as well. So I mean, other than Sir Bobby, we do have Benitez. Took us halfway through the season when we were about to get relegated. Relegated with him. Decided to stay with us. I think that is something many of us also appreciated that fact.
I think any fan will appreciate it.
Yes, exactly, right? I mean, relegated down to championship, stayed with us. Of course, there are also certain sections of the fans where when he left us, went to China, very angry. Shout out to Gad and Madi. It has been 10 years, bro. Get it over and done with.
Why they not happy? Why they not happy?
They are just not happy that Benitez left us lah. To go China for the money.
But cannot blame him also. I mean, they didn't want to renew his contract. So Gad and Madi, please understand. Please understand.
I mean, Kevin Keegan, prominent as well, but we do have our fair share of effed managers lah.
I wouldn't. Okay, like you were mentioning Glenn Roeder. So Glenn Roeder, before he actually became our full-time manager,
caretaker.
He was caretaker manager, right? And we finished 7th that season. Right. So I thought Glenn Roeder would have actually really been, you know. But I felt that if he became our full-time manager, he wouldn't be able to take us anywhere further. That season was sort of a topsy-turvy one for us. Let's not talk about Big Sam.
Actually, Big Sam wasn't too bad.
I always felt he wasn't too bad, but I felt that he said a lot of things that was relatively uncalled for. Or he pushed, like I don't know. I think Big Sam was the one that brought Nolan in. Right, and Nolan became club captain. He really played very well.
I think one underrated manager we had was Chris Hughton.
Yes, hands down.
For sure. The most underrated manager we've had. Did very well to finish 5th at one point, right?
This was before when? Like
when he first came back up, 2010, 2011. First came back up again.
He brought us up and then stayed there as well.
We won the championship and we came back up 2010, 2011. That was a season where we had 5-1 Sunderland. We won Villa as well. What was it?
5-1.
5-1 was Sunderland, right?
7, is it?
No lah.
Big scoreline.
Was a big scoreline also.
5 or 6. I think Carroll scored a hat trick that opening day of the season. We came back, right?
Carroll.
Yeah.
Liverpool player.
Thank you for the 35 million. Thank you for the 35 million. We needed that. Thank you for the 35 million.
But shout out to him. He's playing well in League One.
League Two.
League Two.
No, lower.
League 3.
So Bordeaux got relegated because of financial
issues. Championnat.
But yeah, he's tearing it up there.
He's scoring goals.
I was going to say I wanted to echo what Hairu said because I was thinking about the question when you all posted it. Yeah, Sir Bobby probably has to be the best Newcastle manager for us. Not just because of his history and how gentlemanly he is, but also because his tactics were always spot on, and he always had this one philosophy of playing football. It's always attacking. So for Bobby Robson, for me, I think one game that stood out for me was I think in the 03-04 season we played Leeds at Ellen Road. We were down 3-1. We were down 3-1, and somehow we came back to win 4-3. And that was the time when it was like a bit like Man U, like we wouldn't worry when you scored against us because we were confident we could score just with that one more against you. One more than you and just win the game. And so that was it. So Bobby Robson favorite for me. I think shout out also. This is going to be a bit unpopular opinion, but I think shout out for me is Alan Pardew. Yeah, I think Alan Pardew was very harshly treated because the fans suspected that he was a lackey of Mike Ashley who they did not like. So they kept alluding to that. But
because he has that nice guy look lah.
No, because he came from London and they were like, oh, you're all London cuckoo birds, right? all trying to freeze the club of the life of its life and soul. But when Pardew was with us, we played good football. We made it to fifth with a relatively limited squad. Pardew had the vision to bring in someone like Johan Cabaye, who's probably one of the best midfielders Newcastle has ever had. So classy, right? I think Pardew was
underrated.
He was underrated.
Yeah, and then now don't say Steve Bruce lah.
With Steve Bruce, the one thing that I don't know, very old school football. The 4-4-2 thing, 4-4-2 thing. I agree. But I think in some sense, we all knew when he was hired that he was never going to make it. I don't know. I saw it that way, right? I felt that he was not going to. He is a Geordie. He was born in Newcastle, family roots in Newcastle and stuff, but he went on to play with Man U and whatnot. He never played for Newcastle. So when he came to manage us, he managed Sunderland before that. Many years before that. And then when he came to manage us, I don't know.
It was an easy choice, I think, at that point.
Fair, Englishman. Mike Ashley wanted an Englishman anyways. He always preferred the whole Englishman.
Correct. I think Steve Bruce, maybe his tactics were outdated for that elite level of football. Because right now it's at Blackpool in League One, 2 divisions down. I think he's doing relatively okay.
He is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people advised Steve Bruce against taking the job, but he wanted to take the job because he passed it up once, and he's homegrown boy, right? When he came to him, he was never going to pass it up again.
Familiar roots lah.
But I think I see Steve Bruce is outdated and maybe not necessarily a bad manager because I always tell my friends this: if for fans of our generation, we remember watching the Barclays Man era and all that, right? Steve Bruce took charge of Birmingham City then, and he managed to get people like Christophe Dugarry, who was a World Cup winner, and Walter Pandiani playing well. And these are people who we know and we think they're good players, right? So if he could get that team to work at that time, I don't think he's a bad manager, but I think maybe his tactics just a bit outdated.
A bit outdated.
Shout out to James.
He put Jolinton in front what? That's why I'm outdated. Damn outdated lah basically. He's the one who put.
Jolinton was 40 million though. I think that's why everybody was like heavy price tag. And then I thought it was retribution because we sold Carroll to 35. Retribution no bro.
Slightly he's not even a striker.
Hey, he did very well in midfield. Maybe if you played him any Carroll beside Gerrard or what, you never know.